with winter arriving soon, we all should be bundling up.
Seems like an easy thing to do unless you don't have a winter coat.
And unfortunately, many people don't.
But you can do something about it. Shawn McCann is the owner of Best Cleaners, and he's working with the Salvation Army to provide coats for Connecticut.
And joining him is Dr. Kenneth Robinson, Chief of Emergency Medicine at Hartford Hospital. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
We're so excited to partner with you and get thousands of coats to people who need it. But this is not just, oh, I'm a little cold. I mean, it can be a serious health risk to be going out in New England weather without a warm coat.
Absolutely. The problems that people can run into, like frostbite or hypothermia, can be life-threatening.
We talk about like people, getting in their cars. Oh, I don't need a winter coat. I'm just running down the block to get a half a gallon of milk or something. The car breaks down and they unfortunately get into an accident, and then they're left without a coat. If they're outside and with exposed skin, and if the temperatures are cold enough, that could be life-threatening.
Absolutely. And what if their car's not running and they're off the road and they have no way of getting back up?
So you recommend actually going with a winter survival, like making sure you have warm coats in your car just as an extra prevention.
Especially when it's snowing, like having a shovel in case you slide off the road if you have to go to work in the snow, or have a sleeping bag, God forbid, something like that happens.
Right, no, that's a great idea.
Last year, with the help of the partnership between Channel 3 and Best Cleaners, they collected some 18,000 coats. And that sounds like a huge number, but people were needing them. There were people on lists to get them.
Yeah, absolutely. We collected 18,000 coats and we got rid of them all, and Salvation Army distributed them all to people who needed them. And we started fresh with 0 coats, and we're plugging away.
I think it's just amazing that Best Cleaners is doing this, because if you think about it, they have to clean. These coats go out clean. You have to clean 18,000 coats.
Yeah,
and fix zippers and buttons.
Yeah, we do a little bit of that. We don't perform miracles on some of the coats. We take the ones that are in the best shape. We want people getting a coat that's going to be suitable for them, and we get them clean and ready to go. We do have to check the pockets and make sure all the zippers work, and we do all that kind of stuff before we get them out there.
Okay, and then some of the people that we're trying to serve here, if you're talking about someone who's homeless or who's someplace where they don't have a coat, a lot of times there's already, you say, underlying health risks for them, and so the risk of the cold can be even greater for the people that we're trying to serve.
Absolutely. People with diabetes or heart disease or high blood pressure or circulatory problems like Raynaud's are really at risk, especially when it gets really cold.
And Shawn, I know if I were to look in my closet right now, I could probably come up with 2 or 3 coats that I probably don't need. We're always kind of making that decision like, well, I might wear that once this year. If you haven't worn it in 6 months or a year, chances are you're not going to need it. Bring it to you.
We have the same routine at our house. We look in our closet, we have plenty of coats. So we did the same thing. We said, okay, have you worn it in the last 6 months, last year? If not, we donated it ourselves. So, we're very fortunate to be able to buy coats. People aren't so fortunate. So, our customers and all your viewers have been great donating and very generous. So
we have some video of when we did our coat drive here at Channel 3. There's Irene, but it was so great because just in that one day we collected 1,000 coats, and you'd pull up, we just took the coats right from you, and it's just that easy at Best Cleaners too, right? If you have coats, just drop it off at any Best Cleaners in the state?
Yeah, any Best Cleaners in the state, and we'll take care of them, we'll clean them and get them ready for the Salvation Army and for the folks to wear.
Doc, can you explain to us when when it's too cold? Like, how do you know? What does your body do when it gets too cold?
Well, you should listen to your body. Tingling is the early sign of frostbite. So if your hands or feet or nose or ears start to tingle, it's time to get out of the cold and try to start warming those. Or if you have really heavy shivering, that's a sign that your body's telling you your body temperature is starting to drop. And similarly, try to get out of the cold and start getting warm.
And I've always heard different things. If your hands are so cold, and you might think, are you supposed to run them under warm water or cold water? Is there some kind of mystery ingredient here?
Yes, there is. If you're worried about frostbite, the proper thing to do is first you can just get all the wet clothes off, wet gloves or wet shoes or whatever, and then just wrap them in something dry and warm.
Okay.
You can also, if they're really cold, put them in lukewarm water, maybe a degree warmer than body temperature, and don't rub them because the skin is really sensitive and tender, and you could damage the skin by rubbing frostbitten skin.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. Okay.
And Shawn, should I put sugar in my Christmas tree water?
I don't know that answer.
I just figured I'd ask. They know everything. I figured I'd ask that one too.
We do know that we need your coats, so to find the closest drop-off location to you, and there are many. This is very convenient. All you have to do is head to Coats for CT, Coats for Connecticut, but it's coatsforct.org. And Salvation Army centers all across the state are distributing the coats. They're being collected through December 22nd.
It's such a great thing to do. Again, if you've got that coat at home and you haven't worn it in a while, bring it to Best Cleaners. They can certainly use it.